Welcome to Also Cool Sounds Like. We feature the stories and creative journeys of musicians in and around Montreal. We're having conversations about where their musical inspiration comes from, what keeps them going, and what navigating the industry is like today. I'm your host, Gwen Roley, and today I have the pleasure of sitting down with Magi Merlin. Welcome.
Hi.
Can you introduce yourself?
My name is Magi Merlin. I'm a Montreal-based musician from Montreal girl, and I like to skateboard. I like to make music with my best buddy, Funky What, and I like to vibe in the sun. It's my favorite thing to do. I'm it's hard to classify, I guess, but like an alternative R&B neo-soul musician, just vibing,
Could you talk about where your name comes from?
The origin story of my name is actually kind of funny. My mom got pregnant with me, as it happens, and while she was pregnant with me, a lot of my extended family members started getting like dreams of like a little girl pointing at the sky and being like, I want to be named after that star. And so my grandfather asked the little girl in the dream what the name of the star was, because this is like, I think, a reoccurring situation. And she was like, Magi. So it was all like audio or auditory as like a message. And so they didn't actually know the spelling of my name. So legally, my name is spelled Majai. We only realized it was properly spelled Magi like later in life. That's why I go by that, because it's technically the right spelling. But yeah, that's my magical little story.
Wow. Can you talk a little bit about your influences?
Lots of different things inspire like my writing. Well, my first ever love when it came to writing was Frank Ocean. It kind of like introduced me to another way of like seeing lyrics and like how you can write in a song and like what kind of story you can tell. Well, I always thought he kind of wrote like a rapper, and how much information he's able to convey in such a short amount of time or a little space.
If you had to choose Channel Orange or Blonde? Sorry, is that a cruel question?
I feel like Blonde, actually. I think there's like this more, like Channel Orange is like more in a vein that I would describe as like contemporary R&B, but like a really interesting, cool take on that. But the Blonde, I feel like there's, I don't know, a journey. And I also really like the fact that it took me a while to really settle into it, and I like when a project makes me do that. I also really love Hiatus Coyote. It's the harmonies for me. Fucking crazy. I love that. And there's also like Chicken Grease, D'Angelo. More recently, Eliza, Sky Without Stars, I believe, is that project. I'm like obsessed with that project. I've like heard it 65 times. And more recently also Live. That's been like a production influence for sure. And then when it comes to actually writing, I'm inspired a lot by like things that annoy me. So like capitalism, misogyny, like race, like my identity. Well, love classic stuff, but it's mainly like frustration and like analyses that really like get my gears going. They get me going. And even like the things that I'm reading. So right now, like I'm reading Come As You Are, which is about sex, and that's always like fascinating. And before that, there was a lot of stuff I was reading about like the stars and like science-y books. Neil deGrasse Tyson. I was like, okay, introduction to like the sciencey side of things. I was like, whoa, super obsessed for a second.
Is there a song that comes up in with the sciencey stuff?
Yeah, I feel like No Ego. Hey. That was more like philosophy, actually. It was optimistic nihilism that I kind of got introduced to at the time.
Oh, hey, let's get a drink tonight. I'd hate to wait for Friday, fuck those neon lights. Okay, yo, get me right. It took me 20 years, I still know nothing
but it's more like how my perspective on things. Like I find, astrophysics and stuff like that, they kind of give me this wider perspective on my life, and then that's kind of what inspires me, because I have like a different perspective. Yeah.
How did you get started in music?
I feel like I've always been started. Like the idea has been always in my head. I don't know when that inserted into my brain. Because I think around like 5 or 6, I was watching like Alvin and the Chipmunks on TV.
Watch out, 'cause here we come. It's been a while, but we're back with style.
There was a song, I honestly have no idea which song it was, but I was like, I wish I had written that. I loved it so much. I was like, I want that song to be my song that I wrote it, you know? And I went to my dad and I was like, listen to this song I wrote. And then I sang the song. After like maybe 30 minutes, I felt so incredibly guilty. See, plagiarism, could never. Then I think that idea of like creating something in the vein of like music kind of, I don't know, planted in my brain. Before I was able to like write, I would have dreams of poems and I'd be like, Mom, like, and I would recite the poem from like my dream and then she would write it for me. The rest I'm not even sure. Like, I remember those more vividly than like even like my later years when I was writing actual songs. The idea of creating music has always been in my head. And there were times where I'm like, oh, I don't know if I should do this for sure. Like I felt a little bit uncertain about it at times, but I always kind of got brought back to it. I took it more seriously when I decided to quit university. That actually, with shouts out to my mom, she was the one who was like, why don't you just quit university, you know, little crazy girl. I was just like so miserable. It was like after my first year. Sometimes I need like permission to do something. So her saying that really helped.
There was something that I also wanted to talk to you about because I found this Exclaim article where it was like throwback photos.
Yeah.
And there was the one of you that you described as Tumblr indie guitar girl. Could you maybe talk about how you came from that guitar girl sound to the sound that you have now?
Okay, yes. I mean, that in high school, that was my truth. I was the kook. I was indie guitar girly. I was really trying to go for it.
We've all been there. It's okay.
When I was in CEGEP, though, I started looking for people to work with instead of just with guitar, because I picked up guitar very loosely, just only to put music to my lyrics. I was never like a passionate guitar player. I was really like G chord, let's go. Like perfect, let's write to that. It was when I really wanted to like start collaborating with like producers that I think that I was able to find my sound, because I knew I didn't want to be in a band and I didn't want to be singing with a guitar. So like that I knew. And yeah, after meeting like producers, I was like, oh, the possibility is amazing. So
is guitar like the first instrument that you feel like you came to then?
Yeah, that was the first one that I had access to. Okay. Because my stepdad had a guitar and I was like, there it is. Perfect.
Magi works closely with Funky What, a longtime collaborator and beatsmith. Magi tends to lean into these types of collaborations.
I saw that you have this collaboration with Busty and the Bass that came out like this week. Yes. And then before that you had one with Fernie that came out. So what do you like about collaborating with people?
So collaboration, I think, is like literally everything. It's like everything in music. I think it's everything in the arts. I think it's everything in life. Let's go big. I think there's no way that you can do sick things alone. I think like everything has to do with community, and I'm not going to think of the things that Fernie's going to think of. I'm not going to think of the things that like the Busty Boys are going to think of, you know? And that allows me to like think differently about how I want to approach something. And that keeps me evolving. Like I fully attribute all of my personal growth as a musician and as a person to everyone that I'm around. Like I take no credit, you know what I mean? Like everyone else is just super sick and I'm like I'm gonna latch it onto them, you know? And I would never have thought I would be able to have written on a song as crazy as that Busty track. Like I heard it for the first time and I was tripping out. I'm like, what am I supposed to do on this? It was just like a tale, like a story from start to finish. There's no returning and always like, I was so shook. And it was such a fantastic challenge. I'm like so much better for it. Yeah, it was like a great gift actually being like asked to sing on that track.
I feel like you collaborate with people, but then when you're doing these personal themes, you do it as a solo artist. So it's like the difference between working by yourself and collaborating, and what themes do you like to explore?
It's interesting because I'm technically never working alone, but like when it comes to writing, that is always me by myself. And that's why I think that like it's my solo perspective when it comes to that lyricism and stuff like that, and like even the melodies and stuff that I'm doing, it is quite personal to me. That's why I feel like it's really cool, because I really have the best of both worlds, and like being able to go internally and figure things out on my own, but then also have this outside perspective. Usually, like, when it comes to themes, it's really like whatever's going on, or whatever's brewing in this little brain of mine.
Magi released an EP in 2022 called Gone Girl, one of Exclaim's 50 best albums of 2022. It explores identity, racism, relationships, and a breakup.
Can we maybe talk a little bit about your first album, Gone Girl? Yeah. Can you tell me, like, what was the concept behind this first album?
Yes. The Gone Girl project is now like a person to me. It's kind of like this girl. You could say it's me. I mean, me at the time, I suppose, but now it's just another person. This girl who's kind of like looking internally and doing a lot of work at fixing things, like trauma, or just like a lot of introspection, and kind of deriving a lot of confidence from that, and like a lot of like anger and like frustration, and kind of cultivating that and making that into a powerful dancey bop, you know? Just a tale of that, like me or whoever being like a confident, pissed off girl. And that's kind of where I was writing from at the time. And I really felt very, like I said, No Ego is about like optimistic nihilism.
Right. No, I can't talk about ya.
Milkweed is kind of like this diss track about a person I was seeing at the time. I was just like, fuck you, everybody. Yeah.
Playing through this flame has got me a little harder than I was before.
And that's where I was at the time, which felt nice, but I'm like, I'm somewhere new now.
Where does the name come from then, Gone Girl?
Gone Girl. It's actually from this other song that didn't end up on the project.
Okay.
I was writing from the perspective of, you know the movie Gone Girl?
I was thinking maybe it was from the movie, but I wanted to let you say that.
Exactly, yeah. It's from the movie Gone Girl, and that cool girl monologue. I was writing from that perspective, and I was like, oh, I'll be sick if the project's called Gone Girl. You know, I'm like writing from this like mad, angry woman perspective, which I was very much identifying with, and still kind of do.
Milkweed.
Yeah.
Where were you when you wrote this song?
Where was I? Where was I? I feel like I was in my kitchen or something like that. I think I was like at my apartment for the writing of this song. So Funky will show me tracks that he'll make. This is what we would do before. Now I think we've been kind of more in the gear of like starting tracks together. Mm-hmm. But he like makes so many beats like on his own, so he'll just go and like go down, and he'll be like, and when I'll tell him to stop, or he'll be like, oh, you should try something on this. And so Milkweed was just one of those, and I took it home and I freestyled, I think in my kitchen. And then at the time I was seeing a guy who was like long distance, and I felt like he was feeling entitled to my time.
Fuck you, babe, you ain't entitled to my time. I'm raising hell, and all you wanted was my line. I carry baggage, carry shit I do not like.
Yeah, that was my diss track. But he's very nice, so I literally was like, hey, like, I hope you don't mind, but I like kind of wrote this song about you. I still like you a lot, like, don't feel bad. Even in my diss tracks, I'm not trying to be like a huge bitch or anything. So like I was still trying to like emphasize the fact that I really do care about like his growth and like wanting to watch him grow. So there is like a full little section there about that. Stay working on your goals. I'm down to watch you grow. I'm a little on the nose about it, but you know how it is.
Stay working on your goals. I'm down to watch you grow. But I'll be eating on the road. I bake rhymes, baby.
And then I'll be eating on the road. I bake rhymes, baby. That's just like, this is the always a thing that has been a bit of trouble with me and my partnerships is like not Not that I don't prioritize my partners, but like music is always above everything else in my life. And sometimes that is a little bit of, there's trouble there in my relationships. And that's why I realized, like, I think I really need somebody who's as obsessed with whatever their thing is as I'm obsessed with my thing. But yeah, it's different when, like, you're with somebody and, like, you're able to grow kind of at the same pace. And that's really nice. I love that. And I think that I found that. But yeah.
For Children of Fate, what is this song about?
This song is about nepotism. And I was thinking about interviews at the time, like just interviewing for just any type of job.
I thought you meant like this. I was like,
no, not interviews, like no. Just a job. And I felt like that was super weird, that you kind of have to sell yourself, and then that had me thinking about like nepotism and how they don't really have to do that. And there's like a bit of resentment there, but then also, especially in the industry that I'm working in, it is all about who you know, like all about who you know. And once you find somebody who knows somebody, like you're kind of in, and that in and of itself is sort of like in line with this idea of nepotism. And so it's like I'm talking shit, but at the same time need it.
Who are you to take all of the situation? Refuse to degrade it.
During the breakdown of Children, I looked up like what are basic interview questions, and I was like saying it in a British accent. I'm like, perfect, let's just like crank it and like do weird shit.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
It's sick how it's like kind of heavy for on the floor, like house shit, and like I feel like people, especially at least when I play it live, people seem to resonate with it even if they don't necessarily know what I'm talking about. It kind of has this marchy.
where do you want people to like listen to this? Do you feel like this is a good in-person song?
Oh yeah, for sure. Especially at the part, there's like the second verse, I'm like kind of yelling. People are like, I'm like, yes, okay, perfect. We're all on the same page. Let's go.
Sit on my bed, I wanna kick it, dreaming.
I feel like it definitely hits the nicest on huge speakers, and you can like feel the bass and stuff.
Tell you no with a high pitch like I'll stay on my bed, a nice place to fall when I hit your head. I'm gonna win this race.
Maybe if you could talk about just that album cover and like how the cover art came to be for that.
Yes. So I had like a vision of red and like gold and super like opulence and confidence and all that, and I reached out to my friend Vlad, so he styled me, and there's a girl named Jennifer. She took the photos, and the pictures, they came out so incredibly well. And then I reached out to another visual artist who did the kind of like 3D rendering look of it afterwards, and I really wanted everything to feel kind of like expensive or like like plasticky, or not plasticky, like metallic and heavy and very like solid. But I wanted it to be really confident in its vibes.
Do you think about aesthetics and visuals a lot in your artistry, or are you more of a audio person?
No, definitely. It's so funny because right before I came here, I was with one of my friends, Gab, who actually made a lot of my clothes and like styles me a lot. So I was with her and I was showing her some of my new stuff, and I was like talking about the plan for the next project and the visuals that I was seeing, and she was like, yes, like there's this color and that color and that. I'm like, oh my god, absolutely. There is reds there, but it's like the elements like metal, but over like think an usine, like what's the warehouse factory,
yeah.
But overgrown, like it's like abandoned, and there's just like there's sun like peeking through, but it's dark in there, and it's really hot it's like a hot summer, sticky, everyone's sweaty, and they're all partying in this abandoned warehouse. It just gets me going. Like, to be able to talk about what the music looks like after it's created it's just a part of it. It's like another really exciting aspect of making music. And that's what I was saying about, like, collaboration. It's like everything that I do is so rooted in everyone that I'm around and all of, like, these talented people that I get to talk to and get inspired from. The visual aspect is, like, so much fun to me. I think it belongs together. Like, a really strong visual element is, like, essential to accompany really strong music, because you're doing a disservice to the music to not really try to make sure that everyone knows what it looks like. Does that make sense? I guess I'm a very visual person. I just like consuming music videos and just, like, and films, and I went to school in Cégep in, like, as a multimedia, film editing, directing, like, so I did that first. There was a bunch of things I did in school where I was like, what can I do to insert this back into music? So it was, like, always strategic. I watch a lot of long form YouTube content. That's where I'm at right now.
Me too.
in my days, yeah. That and, like, sometimes some TV shows. Me and my partner are watching The L Word.
I miss it since I caught you running out the room.
We're moving on to the rapid fire end of the interview part. This is very, like, high school superlatives. What's something people don't know about you? What's your deepest, darkest secret?
Oh my god! What's something? Like, literally. Shit. Okay. Something people don't know about me. Ay. This is so hard. Oh my god. I feel like I say everything. I'm actually, like, not a secretive person at all. I feel like a lot of people know everything. Every day, I eat the same thing for breakfast. Except for today. Which is toast, fried egg, and 4 pieces of cheese. I have to be careful because I think I'm lactose intolerant.
Oh.
Maybe that's it. I'm kind of lactose intolerant.
You don't even know that.
Yes, it's even a secret to me.
I want to ask you, what's next for you in 2023?
What's next? Right now I'm working on a project. I don't know when it will be released, but it'll definitely be soon. Spring or, like, early fall. Who knows? I don't know. So
What are some themes you want to explore in your music?
lately it's been, I don't want to say, it's not been pessimistic. It's been very, like, I've been broody. I've been moody. I've been crazy lately, for real. I've been a very moody girl.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can expect that from me.
All right.
Oh, I feel like I got it. Feeling like I got. Hey, no more games. Slowing down before the end just lets you taste more space.
Thank you for listening in general. Yeah, that's all. Yeah.
This season of Also Cool Sounds Like is hosted, produced, and edited by me, Gwen Roley, and Aviva Lessard, in collaboration with Also Cool Magazine. Shout out to the Also Coolers, Malaika Astorga, Zoe Argyropoulos Hunter, Holly Hiltz, and Rebecca Judd for their editorial support. Our intro music is by Jacob Lessard, and the show's artwork is designed by Vasco Cavallero. Check out the magazine at alsocoolmag.com or on Instagram at alsocoolmag. We'll include a link to Magi Merlin's music in the show notes. Don't forget to rate and subscribe to this podcast wherever you listen. If you would like to be featured on the show or want to recommend an artist, email us at podcast@alsocoolmag.com. Thanks for listening.
It's Magi Merlin here, and you should go and listen to the podcast and Also Cool Sounds Like, the podcast. Do I do that again?
The only podcast.
The only podcast.
Worth listening
Also Cool
to.
Sounds Like, okay? Ding, ding, ding. That was the Disney Channel logo.